You're on a luxury cruise, sipping cocktails, soaking in the ocean breeze. But one bite of the wrong food, and your dream vacation turns into a seasick nightmare. What if the most dangerous thing on board isn't the ocean, but what's on your plate? You'll want to hear this. Number 9. Lukewarm or undercooked seafood. Cruise ships are famous for seafood feasts, shrimp cocktails, crab legs, mussels dripping in garlic butter. But here's the danger. Seafood is one of the riskiest things you can eat if it's not handled properly. On a cruise, food is prepared in massive quantities. If mussels sit under a heat lamp too long, or worse, aren't fully cooked, bacteria like Vibrio or Salmonella can sneak onto your plate. One passenger on a Mediterranean cruise shared that their plate of mussels looked fine, until they noticed half the shells were already open before cooking. They ate them anyway. A few hours later, violent stomach cramps and 3 days confined to their cabin. The trick? Only choose seafood that's steaming hot, shells tightly shut before cooking, and dishes that look freshly made. If it's lukewarm or smells even slightly off, trust your gut. Don't eat it. Number 8. Rare or undercooked buffet meats. You might think grabbing a juicy, rare steak from the buffet is a treat, but unless it's coming from a specialty restaurant with strict temperature controls, think again. Buffet meats often sit under warmers for hours. That pink-in-the-middle burger? It might have been safe when first cooked, but now it's a breeding ground for bacteria. Ground meats especially need to be cooked thoroughly. One cruiser recalled grabbing what looked like a perfectly grilled burger. Took one bite, realized it was pink and cold in the center. They skipped the rest, but it could have ended badly. If you want your meat rare, order it fresh at a sit-down restaurant on board. The chefs there follow tighter safety standards. At the buffet, play it safe, fully cooked only. Number 7. Sauces or gravies that look congealed. Here's something people often ignore. Sauces. A rich gravy or creamy Alfredo may look delicious, but if it's sitting there too long, it can tell a dangerous story. When sauces cool down or sit without stirring, they start to form a skin or congeal. That's not just gross, it means they're no longer at a safe temperature. Cruise buffets are high-traffic zones, and sometimes that thick layer on the cheese sauce isn't extra flavor, it's a sign it's been neglected. Look for signs. Is it steaming? Are crew members stirring it regularly? If it looks lumpy or has that odd film on top, skip it. One traveler mentioned avoiding a weird-looking béarnaise sauce, then watched another guest spoon it over steak. That person ended up visiting the ship's medical bay the next day. Coincidence? Maybe, but it's not worth the risk. Number 6. Dishes with unknown or allergy-prone ingredients. Cruise lines cater to international guests, meaning menus are full of exotic names and fusion dishes. Sounds fun, until a surprise ingredient sends your body into panic mode. Allergies, intolerances, or just a sensitive stomach? Be very clear about what you're eating. Buffets especially are risky. Labels might be missing, or dishes may have hidden ingredients like nuts, dairy, or shellfish. A cruiser with a mild nut allergy tried a harmless-looking dessert marked Chocolate Delight. 30 minutes later, hives and nausea kicked in. It had ground almonds inside. Always ask. And if you have a serious allergy, inform staff as soon as you board. Many cruises have allergy cards and trained staff who will personally guide your meal choices. Never assume anything is safe until you know exactly what's in it. Number 5. Tap water from cabin sink. Here's one most people don't expect. The tap water in your cabin might technically be drinkable, but that doesn't mean it's good for use. Yes, cruise ships treat and filter their water, but the system isn't perfect. Water may sit in holding tanks or pipes for hours, or even days. That stagnation can affect quality and taste. Some travelers, especially those with sensitive stomachs, report bloating or mild digestive upset after drinking cabin tap water regularly. One guest said they brushed their teeth with it and felt fine, but the moment they started drinking it, they had daily cramps. They switched to bottled water and the issues disappeared. Better safe than sorry. Most cruise lines offer bottled or filtered water at dining areas. Use that instead. And if you're stocking up your cabin, bring your own reusable filter bottle or just grab a few sealed water bottles from port stops. Number 4. Ice from self-service machines. Think about how many people touch that scoop in the ice bin. Now imagine how often it's not cleaned. Self-serve ice stations might seem convenient, but they're often one of the dirtiest places on a cruise. That scoop? It's supposed to stay dry and outside the ice, but too often it's left inside, collecting bacteria with every grab. And if even one person used it with unwashed hands, well, you get the picture. A study from one popular cruise sanitation report showed that improperly stored ice scoops were among the top violations during surprise inspections. One cruiser noticed the scoop was sitting right inside the ice bin, handle deep in the cubes. They walked away and got ice from a staffed bar instead. Smart move. Unless you see the staff cleaning it regularly or the scoop being stored properly, skip it. Ask for ice from behind the bar, or bring a reusable bottle and fill it with sealed water instead. It's a tiny detail that could save you from a trip to the ship's infirmary and days of missed fun. Number 3. Buffet items left out too long. Cruise buffets can be a food lover's dream or a stomach's worst nightmare. With thousands of hungry passengers, it's impossible for staff to keep every dish fresh 100% of the time. The danger zone for bacteria? Between 40 degrees F and 140 degrees F. That lukewarm pasta or slightly cool chicken? Perfect breeding ground. One guest shared they scooped up some creamy mushroom pasta, only to realize it was cold in the middle and sticky on top, like it had been out too long. They tossed it and chose something fresher. And here's the thing. Most cruise lines try to do it right. They cycle dishes, monitor temperatures, and follow safety protocols. But sometimes, especially during peak hours, things slip. Look for food that's steaming, bubbling, or obviously fresh. Avoid trays that look half full, crusted around the edges, or haven't been touched in a while. Don't hesitate to ask staff when something was last changed. And if you have a weak stomach or are prone to food sensitivity, stick to cooked-to-order stations or smaller venues. Better to feel a little awkward than to get violently sick at sea. Number 2. Food from questionable port vendors. Port days. The best time to explore local culture, and the worst time to take risks with sketchy street food. Every port has its own rules. Some countries have high hygiene standards. Others? Not so much. And food vendors, especially those right outside the cruise terminal, often operate with little oversight. No gloves, no refrigeration, and the same cutting board for raw chicken and fruit? Yep, it happens. One traveler bought grilled fish from a vendor at a Caribbean stop. It looked fresh, smelled amazing, but 2 hours later their stomach said otherwise. They spent the next day in bed instead of on the beach. Here's your strategy. Look for long lines. If locals are eating there, that's a good sign. Watch how they handle food. Gloves, clean utensils, and stick to cooked items. Avoid raw fruits unless you can peel them yourself. Better yet, book food experiences through your cruise line or eat at restaurants with strong reviews. A little extra caution can save your whole trip. Number 1. Wilted or watery. Salad bar items. You'd think salad would be the safest choice, right? But salad bars are a hygiene nightmare if not handled properly. Why? Because everyone touches them. Forks dropped into bins, spoons dipped into multiple items, kids leaning over the counter, and a sneeze guard that doesn't quite cover the edge. Once those leafy greens start looking limp, soggy, or slimy, it's not just a texture issue. It's potentially dangerous. Moisture creates the perfect environment for bacteria to thrive, especially on unrefrigerated or older veggies. A cruiser once grabbed some lettuce that looked just a little wet. Within a day, they were nauseous and feverish. Coincidence? Maybe, but it's a common story. Stick with crisp, vibrant greens that look like they were just replaced. Avoid anything that looks like it's been picked over or hasn't been refreshed. And if you're unsure, skip the salad and grab some grilled veggies instead. Hot food is usually safer. Cruise lines work hard to offer safe, delicious food, but even the best ships face challenges with high volume, changing weather, and human error. Here are some bonus tips to stay safe and satisfied. Bring a small bottle of hand sanitizer with you to the buffet. Use it before touching those serving spoons. Don't hesitate to ask for something made fresh. Most staff will happily accommodate. Drink more water than you think you need, especially in warm climates. But stick to sealed or filtered sources. If your ship offers dining apps or QR menus, use them. Sometimes you can pre-select meals and avoid lines entirely. And most importantly, if something doesn't look right, smell right, or feel safe, trust your gut. All right, cruise crew, that's a wrap. Hopefully, this helped you dodge a few landmines at sea and feel a little more cruise savvy before your next trip. Got your own cruise food horror story or insider tip? Drop it in the comments. We seriously want to hear it. And hey, if you learned something new, hit that like button. Share this with your cruise buddies, and don't forget to subscribe for more no-nonsense travel tips. Until next time, stay curious, eat smart, and enjoy the ride.